Living in a prefrontal cortex experience. Isn't that life? Oh, it's rife with drive.
Crisis management is that you've got to get...
So I'm sure that you know why I'm calling, Congressman.
Ma'am, have you considered making a statement? If I've learned one thing about crisis management is that you've got to get out there and talk to the American people. If they hear it from you directly, you can get away with just about anything. Maybe you should declare a state of emergency.
Fine, but you know I'm lying sometimes. Who won't admit their pain? We like the claim, no gain. Different with these brain drains, and that's what I'm singing and slanging. Luxury in 2018's gotta be safety.
It's a beautiful morning.
Always with you. I know.
It's
Thrilling. I'm so happy we're together.
The ventilators are to this war what missiles were to World War II.
We are waiting for key in PTSD. We want this to be post-traumatic stress disorder, but we don't know when that date is going to happen. But when it does, we may have flattened the curve on the physical virus, but the implications of this in terms of mental health, I see going on for years to come.
People are dying.
Dr. Maggie.
Hospitalizations here in New York jumped 40% on Thursday, just in a 24-hour period. We continue to make calls to doctors and nurses around the city who are telling us harrowing stories of what's happening inside. A lot of them don't feel comfortable talking on camera because they're worried about either being fired, that their hospital may not tell the truth of what is happening inside. But there are some who do feel comfortable coming forward.
The hospitals look like a war zone. People lining up out of the hallway to the EMS bay, to the ambulance bay, with masks on themselves, with oxygen on their nose, with oxygen on their face.
In Queens, saw 13 people die in 4 hours.
People come in, they get intubated, they die, the cycle repeats.
It's just
Going on for years to come.
People are dying.
If it works, pages you'd like to follow. Create enough shields. Oh, good. Gee.
It's all starting now. How exciting is this?
Oh, hi guys.
Absolutely a perfect victim. She was young, relatively uneducated, unsophisticated, far from her home, her husband far away from her, impressionable. She trusted everyone, would not ask questions.
We scoured the world to find you.
And the winner will get to create a collection that will be sold. Well, you guys better get ready. One of you, where's my drum roll? In this room, will receive 1 million.
It's $1 million.
Money can change people's lives. Buying a house can change someone's life. Living with someone for years definitely can change their life. Then you have to explain how you got it. And then actually being physically abusive and mentally. At the same time, I'm going to go focus on my hobbies, my new interests. Everything's related to fine motor and movement. And my experience being a woman. And what do women want?
This tutorial is very easy to do and to follow for a beginner. So I hope that we will have fun and learn a lot from this. So let's begin.
Stand there from the wait until you see who's look at you.
See you.
Money can change people's lives. Buying a house can change you.
Protect and heal.
I'm the healed and the devil's trying to give me the flu.
As a Texas evangelical preaches.
Put your hand on that television set.
That's just not faith. That's presumption. God is not a genie. He doesn't serve me. I serve him.
Priest in Grand Rapids serving by populating the pews with photos of those worshiping at home.
Looking at faces, it really took on a meaning for me. It was really profound.
Keeping the faith and passing it on.
I'm actually for churches to shine and to help the vulnerable.
Cynthia McFadden.
The reality is right now the supply chain just can't keep up with our needs.
Every day, those needs are growing.
This week, more her doctor that she may have to give first child without her husband in the delivery room.
You could share this milestone since you're a little girl, and not having my husband there potentially it's heartbreaking.
To restrict the number of people allowed inside delivery rooms.
Tony, the number of hospitalizations here in New York jumped 40% on Thursday, just in a 24-hour period. We continue to make calls to doctors and nurses around the city who are telling us harrowing stories of what's happening inside. But I got to tell you, a lot of them don't feel comfortable talking on camera because they're worried about either being fired, and some of them are worried that their hospital may not tell the truth of what is happening inside. But there are some who do feel comfortable coming forward, and that's where we're going to start this morning.
The hospitals look like a
The emergency room is overwhelmed, and medical staff he's been talking to across New York City are describing similar scenes.
People lining up out of the hallway.
Elmhurst Hospital in Queens saw 13 people die in 24 hours on Wednesday. Some patients have been moved to other facilities, and the hospital has added more than 50 additional staff.
People come in, they get intubated, they die, the cycle repeats.
When this screen pops up, you can scroll down, you can zoom out, you can zoom in. Teaching those around us how to use tech to understand information, get truth, get facts, and also does return to PTSD memories because we have to accept our parents might have anxiety, like driving into the city, because the complaint was they never visit me. I always have to go out there to the suburbs because they prefer to go. Let's just say your excuses of not understanding tech just don't work anymore.
Finally, watch what you say. Your words do matter. You'll never know when you'll be on PTSD replay. Because concussion, PTSD, nerve radiculopathy are kind of invisible, right? Anyway, just be kind. It's free. And isn't that what Christianity should mean to you? Anyway, that's what it means to me.
God is not a genie. He doesn't serve
My whole
me.
relationship was like I was teaching. That was such a natural part of my day, dealing with bullies and dealing with academic achievement and stigma. When I was married, it was a very strange feeling. I wasn't in a dress that I wanted to be in. I borrowed it. The dress I wanted, I was told, oh my God.
Remember, I was recording the pain in my body through my voice for a while before I could describe it. So if I was talking quicker, or more fucked up like, I knew there was something going on. I just didn't know. Is it my back? Is it my spasm? Is it this? Because I couldn't identify it. It was just pain all over. It was too massive.
Let's just say your excuses of heck just don't work anymore. Thank you.
Finally, watch what you say. Your words do matter. You'll never know when you'll be on PTSD replay. Because concussion, PTSD, nerve radiculopathy are kind of invisible, right? Anyway, just be kind. It's free. And
since it was a small family wedding because someone didn't have any friends, oh my God, in comparison. And that's how we started talking about, well, do you really want these friends? These are the friends you want? Oh, the best part. At the wedding. And they wouldn't allow him. Like, you don't get to make a speech. So he told them in the back. So this person basically tried to tell them that I'm like, what? What, not good enough for him? Oh, lordy lord, the story is coming out hardcore. Bullying. It's super, super simple.
Absence of pro sports is tough. Athletes, commentators, and fans are now getting creative.
Final of the two lonely blokes in a park contest, and oh, that was absolutely terrible. A few runners in the distance, not keeping enough distance, frankly.
To feline martial arts.
It's a butt punch by Winston. Butt punch. And now it's sniffing. Now we're holding. Staring contest is now in progress.
If you've got a great isolation, boredom-killing video, email us at thenational@cbc.ca.
Cute. Oh. Hello. Boom. Wait, this is Boston. I told her I could show the outside again. That woman who sang and wanted compliments also would tell me how she wasn't very crafty. The same thing as somebody who was very skillful, sewed a lot of stuff for us, and then would put herself down. It's an interesting characteristic. Let's go.
Now, for any kind of good news, the president wants to fast-track a drug used to treat malaria. Application to coronavirus. What more can you tell us about that? Is it promising?
Two drugs, chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine, that are approved, that are on the market, and I can write a prescription for today. In fact, I have over the last several weeks. And they certainly seem in pilot studies to have an effect on the virus and hopefully to make people do better. So this is real hope with these two drugs. And they're here and we're using them. And so it's optimism. And I was very excited that the president took that step forward yesterday. And they certainly seem in pilot studies to have an effect on the virus.
Can we see those pilot studies? Can you make those transparent? And also, it's not just malaria, it's other diseases as well. And if those people can't get their drugs because there's a shortage, an increase in creation, how do people just randomly make more drugs for people? What kind of contracts do those look like?
Stories of what's happening inside.